Before Adolf Hitler became the infamous dictator, he had a very different dream. He wanted to be an artist. In his teenage years, Hitler spent countless hours sketching buildings, landscapes, and people. He believed his future was in the world of art, not politics. In 1907 and again in 1908, he applied to the Academy of Fine Arts Vienna. But both times he was rejected. The professors told him his work lacked talent, especially in drawing human figures. After his second rejection, Hitler was devastated. He spent years living in poverty, selling postcards with his paintings to survive. Despite the terrifying image he projected to the world, Adolf Hitler had a surprising personal fear. He absolutely hated dental treatment and avoided it as much as possible. Historical reports from his personal doctor reveal that Hitler suffered from terrible dental problems, including chronic bad breath, gum disease, and rotting teeth. His fear of sitting in the dentist's chair was so extreme, it's almost ironic the man who commanded armies and spread fear across continents was himself terrified of a simple dental drill. It might shock you to know that Adolf Hitler, the man responsible for millions of deaths, followed a mostly vegetarian diet. Later in his life, Hitler avoided meat almost entirely, and some reports say he even felt disgusted by the idea of eating animals. Under his rule, Germany passed strict animal protection laws, some of which were surprisingly progressive for their time. But here's the haunting contradiction: a man who claimed compassion for animals, yet had none for millions of innocent people. Adolf Hitler was known to be highly superstitious, often placing deep belief in astrology, fortune-telling, and omens. He regularly consulted astrologers and believed in the mystical power of symbols like the swastika, which he adopted as a key emblem of the Nazi Party. Hitler's decisions were sometimes influenced by astrological forecasts, especially during World War II. For example, he delayed major military operations based on astrological advice. This superstition reflected his obsession with destiny and a belief that he was chosen to fulfill a historic role, which added an eerie layer to his already dangerous ideology. Adolf Hitler's admiration for Henry Ford ran deep, rooted in both ideological alignment and industrial inspiration. Ford, the founder of the Ford Motor Company, was not just a pioneer in automotive manufacturing. He was also a vocal proponent of anti-Semitic views, particularly through his newspaper, The Dearborn Independent, which published a series of inflammatory articles later compiled into the book The International Jew. These writings had a profound influence on Hitler. In Mein Kampf, Hitler referred to Ford as a single great man who stood firm against Jewish influence in America. Hitler even kept a life-sized portrait of Ford in his Munich office and cited him as a model of what one determined individual could achieve. Ford's efficient methods of mass production also fascinated the Nazi regime, which later implemented similar strategies for manufacturing weapons and military vehicles. In 1938, Hitler's regime awarded Ford the Grand Cross of the German Eagle, the highest honor Nazi Germany could give a foreign national, highlighting Adolf Hitler was actually nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize in 1939. The nomination came from Erich Brandt, a Swedish parliamentarian, but it wasn't meant to be serious. It was a satirical protest against the nomination of British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain, who had signed the Munich Agreement with Hitler, a move many saw as appeasement. However, the joke backfired. The nomination sparked outrage and confusion, and Brandt quickly withdrew it. It may come as a surprise, but Adolf Hitler was reportedly a fan of Disney cartoons, particularly the early animated films like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. According to accounts from people close to him, Hitler admired the artistry and innovation behind Disney's work. He was especially impressed by the animation techniques and even owned a copy of Snow White, which was one of his favorite films. Adolf Hitler's rise and fall left scars that still shape our world today, from a failed artist to a dictator responsible for the deaths of millions.